And what you can see is big red glowing orbs all across the water. And those are alligator eyes looking right back at you. And these guys have such reflective, good night vision. And their eyes look like glowing orange basketballs. Just floating on the top of that surface. They can see so well in such low light.
I'm guessing we can't touch them?
Don't negative. Nobody's touching the caiman.
Nope.
So,
sucks.
and what I was going to say is, they're small species in the world. What they lack in size, they will make up for in attitude. So watch your fingers. And it's interesting because you guys must know that alligators are illegal to own. You cannot have them as a pet, nor would I ever suggest anybody owning any crocodilian. But these guys you can actually find and purchase in the pet trade. And once again, why? I don't know why they would sell them. Maybe because people think it's cool. But they make horrible pets. And obviously, if you guys ever see one online for sale, we would like to say, please don't. It's a very bad idea. They're cool. If you guys want to check out some crocodiles, check out some alligators, come to Gator Country.
My friend just got one that's been in her bathtub for about a week. So
that's horrible. Have you guys been to those like hurt alligators in the back? Have you guys seen those hurt alligators at all? They got the missing jaws. There's one that looks kind of normal, and it's really super dark. That is a full-grown 30-year-old alligator that was absolutely abused as a pet and it stunted its growth. So we would really like to suggest never own an alligator or any crocodilian because you're not doing it any good. You know, who wants to live in a bathtub? That's not good. But what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna switch some gears. How many of you guys are afraid of snakes? You guys afraid of snakes? Ooh, we got a good crowd here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about venomous snakes. So I hear this a lot, all the time, all day. People will say, poisonous snakes? Please. I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys leave here, to never say poisonous snake ever again, because that is absolutely wrong. There's no such thing as a poisonous snake. The difference between poison and venom is poison is ingested while venom is injected. So that's how you know the difference between one. What's up, boss? So we're going to talk a little bit about different types of venomous snakes. We have all 4 types. Oh, that's Arlie, guys. He's one of the owners of Gator Country. Oh, this guy is a magician when it comes to alligators. You guys are going to see him. He's the fastest hands in all of Texas.
No, he's that fast.
So we got 4 types of venomous snakes. We got rattlesnakes, we got water moccasins, we got copperheads, and we got coral snakes. Is that a coral snake?
No.
How come? Doesn't have yellow? I see yellow. So
Wait.
we have a difference, and I'll give you guys a little picture right here. Can you get anybody telling me what the coral snake is? Bottom one? All right. So there we go. So we have a rhyme that we like to say. It's red touches black, you're okay, Jack. Red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow. And while this is a good rhyme that helps you,
you're a dead fellow.
Maybe differentiate between the species, we would like to say is
that's a milk
never.
snake, I think.
When I say never, touch a snake you can't identify. And if you're in the wild, definitely just don't even hold one. It's not worth it. You know, the risk is not worth the reward, especially when it comes to a bite from a venomous snake. So coral snakes actually are pretty interesting. They have what is called a neurotoxin. And what this does, if you break down the 2 root words, is a toxin for your nervous system. So unlike a rattlesnake, which is a chemotoxin, which directly affects your blood, this was more of a slow-working, less painful venom that will do its damage over a greater period of time. So what we like to talk about with the coral snake is it is absolutely a beautiful snake. Kids want to grab it if they see one, and this is why we like to talk about it, because there are fatalities that occur generally in younger ages. And, whatever that reason is because maybe they shouldn't have been touching a snake and they didn't want to tell their parents that they got bit because they shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. So what we'd like to say is, 1, kids, have good communication with your parents. Always tell them when you need to tell them something. And 2, do not be messing around with animals that you have no business messing around with. All right. So what we have here is not a dangerous coral snake, but we have a Louisiana milk snake.
Knew it.
And what this snake is doing is it's called a Batesian mimicry, and that is a harmless snake looking like a dangerous snake to trick predators. So this is, I think, one of the coolest adaptations. It's how does one species know that another species is dangerous? Like, how did that snake over evolutionary time match by chance another species? So insane. So, now that we're done talking a little about some crocs, some gators, some snakes, we're going to end up finishing the show on the deck, and we're going to move to feeding the big alligators. So you guys excited for watching some big alligators eat?
Yes.
Oh, that was weak. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the bleachers, and we're going to feed Big Al and see whether or not he wants to rip off our arms today, which is going to be a yes. So I'll see you guys down there.
Probably wants to, but whether or not to let him.
Yeah,
Gotta be quick.
What? I almost missed half of the show.
Sometimes you gotta be in the moment. I feel for y'all. Y'all got twice today. Y'all got stories though coming home.
There's one over there.
This one is big text.
This is actually the biggest one here. Yeah, his name is Tex. That's the way gators work. They're ambush predators. Okay, so we're back with Big Al, and they're about to feed him.